If you want to see me catch this fish and cook it, stay tuned. It turned out awesome. Good morning, fishing friends. This is Matthew with Out Fishing 13. I'm out here with my buddy Fred on Utah Lake this morning. It's the first part of September, and we're going to be targeting some big catfish. So let's get started. So this morning we're going to be using white bass for bait, and it's frozen, as you can see. I'm going to get some warm water in there. There's some pieces down here, Fred. Here we go. There's some pieces we can bait up with right away. My brother kind of cut up small pieces last time we went. Fred's gonna try a garlic shad too. All right, so one of the things I've done that's a little bit different, but it's worked out real effectively, is I use what's called a spin glow on there, and it's just got a couple beads and then my circle hook, and bait that up with a nice piece of bait. Some people say the bigger the bait, the bigger the fish, but that's not always the case here. So what that spin glow does is it'll keep that bait up off the bottom a little bit, and it's pretty effective. So that's my Zebco 733. I got the same thing on this. I don't have all of my rods hooked up that way. I do have most of them. Okay, we got those two out there. I need to rig up the Omega 1.
Hey, you got it.
Oh, no, you get it.
You got it.
Okay, we got a fish on. Tighten up my drag a little bit. Boy, this is a nice fish. Ooh. He came off. Dadgummit. How'd he get off?
He had the bottom of that bait.
He didn't get hooked. He just had it in his mouth, didn't he? Dadgummit. Well, we had one bite. Let's catch another one.
Well, let's I think let's fix that bait so it doesn't happen.
Oh, it'll be fine. Look at all the carp out here. That'll be good.
Yeah, he's right there.
There's a bunch of them out there. Whole mattress full of them. So I saw like a whole bunch of them. Well, I was excited for a little bit. We got a fish on. He's there now. It might have only be a one fish day, but we're gonna, at least we're gonna have something for.
As long as it's a good fish.
Yeah, as long as it's a good one.
You coming this side?
Yeah. Won't be funny if it's a big carp. No, it's
no, it's not.
It's a big.
It's a big one.
A big channel cat. Okay, let's see what he likes. If he likes the surface very much, or he's gonna take off. Ooh, look at that bend in that rod. That's my whooping stick. Here he comes. Oh my gosh.
That's a monster.
That ought to make some nice fish and chips. Okay, let me get him up here. Oh, holy cow.
I can't see him to put him in.
Here, just hold up. I'll get him up here. Holy cow. Hot and hold on. Let's not get tangled up. Okay, get him now. Here, I think he's tired out some now.
Oh man, that's a monster.
That's a good one.
Big fat cow.
Man, it is a cow. That is a nice fish. Let's get a picture. At least I got a video. Oh yeah, he was hooked good, Fred, right in the corner of the mouth.
That's a good fish.
Oh, and it's so pretty. Check.
All right.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Off the charts.
At least 27.
Call them up.
Let's catch another one. Well, thanks for going fishing with me today. We caught one really nice catfish, about 28 inches long, probably weighs about 6 or 7 pounds, and a nice fighter. So was it worth going for just one catfish? You bet. This is the first time I got out fishing with my friend Fred, and on the lake this year. It's been really slow for us, and the fishing hasn't been great this year. Not sure why, but we haven't had like really great days. There was one day I went fishing with my brother. Watched that video. It was a couple months ago, where we caught a lot of fish with his son. Other than that, thanks for going fishing with me. I thought I'd do a catch and cook for you guys and show you my favorite way to cook up catfish. My favorite way to cook up catfish is by frying them in a frying pan. And I like to cover them with a dry batter. So we're going to start that first. Let me show you what I got. So I got about 1/2 cup of cornmeal here, and I'm going to use 1/2 cup of flour. So 1/2 and 1/2, 1-to-1 ratio. So you can make this more or less depending on how much catfish you have or don't have. Then I like garlic, so I'm going to add some garlic, and I'm going to add about, I'm just going to estimate here, but I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons there. So that's powdered garlic. And I like powdered onion, so I'm going to put about 1 teaspoon of that in. That's about 1 teaspoon. And then fish needs lots of salt, so in this, with about 1 cup of this, I'm going to add a good heaping tablespoon of salt. Okay, and then I like to spice it up with a little bit of cayenne pepper, so I'm going to put about 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I like black salt, so I'm going to use some black pepper, so I'm going to put about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper in there too. Okay, so I got that made. We need to mix it all up. Let me get me a lid for my little plastic container here, and I'm going to seal that up and shake that all up. So there we go. Shake it up good, get it all mixed in. Alrighty, so that's my batter. This is going to be like a dry batter. Okay, next I want to make an egg wash for my fish. So the way I make my egg wash is I just use 1 egg and come over to the sink here and put about the equivalent amount of water in there. So about 1/4 cup. And we'll just mix that up really nice. Got my oil warming up over here. I got about 1/2 inch of oil in my pan. I want to get it good smoking hot. And then you can turn it down from there and adjust it up as you cook your fish. I'm going to cut up my catfish. So I already filleted it down there at the harbor. And what I want to do with my catfish, and this is what I found works really well for me. You can do it however you want, but I like to cut up a big catfish like this into strips. I'm going to cut this one in half because I want small pieces that I can fry up nice and crispy. See how thick that is? That fillet is about 3/4 to an inch thick. And I want to cut it up into strips like this that are about 3/4 of an inch thick or wide. So see that? Now one of the things I did with this catfish that I think if you don't do this, I recommend it. But the water was about 74 degrees down there, probably a little bit cooler down towards the bottom where the catfish are laying. But what I like to do is bleed the catfish as soon as I catch them. So I cut its gill and I had it on ice. And I got it cool as quickly as possible, and I killed the fish and let it bleed out and get that blood out of it. Alright, so I got that all cut up. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the wash here, this egg wash. So I don't want it to soak, it doesn't need to soak, it just needs to get a good layer of the egg wash on there. Just like that. And then I'm going to put a bunch of this in my batter that I've mixed all up. So I'm going to put my lid on. You can do this in a Ziploc bag too if you want. Shake it all up. And then I'm going to take it out. And I want to set it on the pan. I'm going to let it sit there for 2 or 3, at least 2 or 3 minutes to let that egg wash soak up the batter, the flour and cornmeal and all that other good stuff. I just want it to kind of soak up and moisten it some, because if I put it right in there from there, I'm going to end up with all kinds of crumbs, and it's going to fall off as it goes in the oil. So I'm going to do another batch here while I wait for that to soak. And you can do that while your oil is getting hot. So now this is soaked for a couple minutes. I'm ready to put it in there. But now the batter is not really going to fall off. And I want to put it in some good hot oil. Turn that up a little bit. And I lay it on that flat side. That's the side that I'm going to cook it on. And I'm going to cook these for about 5 minutes on each side until it's good, crispy, and brown. Let's shake that one up. And set these out. Again, you want them to set for 3 or 4 minutes to let that batter soak into the egg wash and absorb all the moisture so that you have a good covering on there. So it's been about 5 minutes. Let's turn these over. Oh yeah, nice and golden brown. Got the perfect temperature going here. You see that batter isn't just falling off into the pan. It's soaked into the egg batter, and it's just making a nice, real nice coating on this catfish. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Now if you want, I always like to take and sprinkle some salt on here while it's cooking. Sometimes if you just don't get your batter or it's not coated enough, it's not going to have the salt in there to really make it savory. So let that cook for probably on this side another 4 minutes or so. This is cooked for about 3 minutes on this side, and it's nice and golden brown. It doesn't take as long as it seems like the first side. But look how nice those look. I just put them on a paper towel. Oh yeah. That's looking delicious. I'll get the next batch going here. Here's that cheek. Here's one of the other. There's There's the other cheek. Don't fill your pan with fish too close together, else it'll cool it off too fast. They're cooking just about like that. So another 5 minutes. Let's go try this out. Well, thanks for joining me as I cooked up this catfish my favorite way. The fish turned out great. Let's try it. Let's get some pieces here. I like mine with ketchup. You might like yours with tartar sauce or maybe some lemon or just plain. I like mine with a little bit of ketchup. That's so tender and good. And just plain, it's delicious. I got some fresh peaches off my tree. Put in the refrigerator. That's awesome. Thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed going fishing. I'll see you next time. And don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I've got over 100 videos of fishing videos and reel repair videos. Thanks and have a great day. Bye. Oh, that's good.